Good morning and hello again, mud monkeys. This is going to be my second proper video, including a hunt. First one went up yesterday and feedback so far has been very positive. I did ask people, let me know what I can do to make it better, what I should do, little improvements, tips, advice, all that sort of stuff. And there was plenty of that. First one was lose the sunglasses, so they have done one. According to my friend Chicken, she says they create a barrier, and that's fine. I'm sure she's right. I didn't even realise I was wearing it, it was just sunny. So there we go, you've got my eyes, bags and all, because it is fairly early this morning. Other feedback was try not to say as much, which I'm going to try as well hard. Go with instead, it would appear. Fine. Stop skipping over things was a big one. Try and go into a bit more detail of what you find, even if it's rubbish. Just explain why you found it in the first place, which is a really good point. So I think there'll be a section on discrimination later. We'll have a little chat about why we dig rubbish still, even when we've got better machines, which we all do. I'm sure. I'm not the only one. I have quite a big bag of junk at the end of most sessions that it doesn't make it onto videos, so you don't really realise that it's being dug up half the time. So other things were more sort of history content, like showing a coin is fine, putting up what it is, a King George III or whatever, but having dates, maybe a bit about George, what he was like, that sort of stuff. So just give some context to the finds, and that is definitely something I want to do some more of. I wanted to have a bit of that in the wrap up of the last video, but unfortunately life sort of got in the way, and I couldn't. That'll be my buddy Paul in the background there, thinking he's hilarious. So yeah, today weather is terrible. It's been raining all night and it's still raining now. It will clear, I know, but it's good and bad, as detectorists who are seasoned will know. When it's wet you get deeper penetration, so take from that what you will. Be filthy minded if you wish, but ultimately metal detectors, I guess it's something to do with the way electricity goes very smoothly through water. The electromagnetic field of metal detectors works very well in wet soil. You get better depth, you can pick out targets that weren't there before, things come up that you never thought were there. So all in all it's good. Obviously it's a bit of a pain to walk in and dig in, to a certain degree. Obviously we've had concrete ground recently, so actually being able to dig is fine, but it can get a bit gloopy, and the soil around here can be a bit clay-like and gloopy. But I'll take that over concrete, at least I can dig them. So the video today, there should be less wind noise as well. Obviously people mention wind noise, I couldn't really do a lot about it. They said if you're digging something, we'd rather hear a commentary, even broken commentary through wind noise, than no commentary at all. And that's fair enough. I shall endeavour to do that as well. Today I've remembered my spade. This is a big thing. I did not remember that yesterday for the first time ever. Imagine turning up at the field, no spade. Very nearly wanted to just jack it in and drive all the way back home and get spade, but actually wasn't an issue at all. I had the trowel with me, the ground was soft, and again the CTX being such a good machine, the pinpointing was so accurate that I could just find the target straight away with minimal effort. I do have my spade with me today, so I will use that anyway, and we'll get some good stuff, I'm sure. Okay, enough of all this rubbish, let's get digging. Still in the hole. There we go. So we'll talk about discrimination later, but a bit like I said about even good machines ring up modern metals like that and they sound fantastic. This is a faint signal, it's a little bit jumpy. Maybe kick some soil off. Where's it gone? It's probably in there. Try and pinpoint it. Oh, it's not easy, this one. It's very faint. No, really faint. Right, we'll get the pinpointer out. Alright, shush. What do we got here? Right, quick clean up. Well guys, I mean, what do I say? This looks really, really interesting. Dare I say it, even possibly silver. Kind of like a crown, maybe sort of a skull, maybe it's the top of a ring. But on the back, it's very much, you know, flat. So it's I don't think it's a ring because it's not sort of got that 3D all-round look to it. It's very much a flat thing. So maybe part of a brooch. Fascinating. If you have any idea, please let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, I've got a signal here. It's been a bit choppy. When I find it. There we go, let's pinpoint that. Again, it's choppy like the last one. Yeah, struggling to pinpoint that. Let's get the pinpointer out. Okay. So it's choppy because it's on the surface and it's a bit of iron and the detector hasn't discriminated well enough. But I will scan the hole, make sure it's not something else that's coming up and this is just a mistake. These things, as wonderful as they are, pinpointers, don't discriminate metal. So it will just lock on to whatever you've got, be it the iron or be it this phone, doesn't really matter. So I better scan this hole again. Yeah, so as you can see, putting the CTX over there, even with all the skills and technology, it still fell foul to a little bit of iron on the surface. Just one of those things. Well, we'll move on. Not a good signal here. It's quite solid this time. Showing 6 inches. Barely see it on the screen there, a bit damp. Oh right, okay, 2 inches. Target trace says it's quite a big signal. Let's have a look. Ah, there we go. Shotgun casing. They'll get you. They sound like coins. They're round. They're metal. The older ones, copper alloys and brasses and things like that. They sound great. Oh well. Okay, there's a little signal in here. Somewhere. There we go. Very consistent. 3 inches. Yelling at me with the CTX. There we go. I think you can all see what that is. That's a TOMBAC button. These are pewter mostly, and they give a nice signal. Sometimes the shank is made of a different metal, so it can make it jump around a little bit, but yeah, that's a good little button. Happy with that. That's clear as day. Quite a big target, a couple of inches down. Let's have a look. Oh. And there we go. It's a giant's toe ring. Yeah, so a bit of horse tack probably, but quite old. Bit of copper. No wonder that sounded good. Could have easily been a big old coin like that. Okay, on to the next one. Right guys, so today I've been using the GPS sort of data breadcrumbs. If you can see that on the screen there, the little blue squares are where I've been. Putting that in context, not showing too much. I started over there sort of near the cars, and I've just been going up and down and up and down, and that's been following me on there, and I found those couple of things, that first silver thing and then the button, and you can see where they're marked. And it's just keeping tabs on that really, and you can see how erratic my walking is, even though it's a small area and I think I could easily go up and down and keep a straight line. Even with this system showing me where I've been, it shows how erratic you can be and how easy it is to miss whole clumps. Like sort of over there's quite a big area, you know, that could be a gold hammered in there, so I'll have to head back and cover that area a little bit as well. But it's such a helpful little tool. That's sounding lovely. Target trace, if you can see it, shows a big circle. Could it be a coin or a button? 3 inches. Let's have a look. Okay, the trowel for this. Nearly out. Ah, we see. What do we got? Certainly a round in the ground, looking like a coin of nothingness. Ooh. Yeah, have a quick clean up, not expecting much out of that. Yeah, as expected, not much has come up from cleaning. So it's just a wiped coin. So again, for people who are new to the hobby, you're going to find lots of these copper coins. This one's about the size of a halfpenny, you know, that maybe sort of 200 years old, 300 years old, and they just don't survive very well in the ground, especially with farmers putting all of the stuff they put on their fields. It degrades the coins, so you'll find a lot. You can see how ground down it is around the edges as well. It's just worn away to nothingness, so get used to finding them. They're good, they're old, you know you're on a good site when they're coming up, but they're frustrating. You'd like to know a bit more about them, but there we go, that's the hobby. That sounds lovely. Target trace says it's a bit big. Pinpointing's good, 4 inches. Let's have a look. Don't know why, but I'm really enjoying just using trowel. After the last time I was out, just think it's a little bit more accurate, I don't know. Enjoying it. I'll just off a little bit. Oh, guess what it might be? Feels a bit heavy, feels a bit round. Yeah, so it's a bit of musket ball, or is it a spindle whirl? Oh, have a little clean up, hang on. There you go, little clean up, and you can see there it's filled with mud, but there's a hole all the way through the middle. It's made of lead. It's a very, very basic spindle whirl. Don't ask me how old it is. It's just the worst question in the world of spindle whirls. Google it, have a little look. They've been around just since weaving has been around, and the need to take wool and make it into sort of yarn or however it works. I don't know enough on the process, but perhaps that's something I'll look into. But yeah, spindle whirls, classic metal detecting find. In fact, everything today has been that way really. Wiped coins, buttons and spindle whirls, they sort of make up a lot of what you will find, and then every now and then you'll get something special. So hopefully we'll have one of those today. Well, that sounded nice. Around the edge of that trough, about 5 inches. Get the spade for that. Right. Oh. I think it's out of the hole. Oh, the joys of pinpointing. Ah, so no. Where are you? Must be tiny. Ah, damn you, pointer. Okay, this is where we will take a deep breath and we'll try again. And it's this huge thing, crumbs. With a bit of lead, I think. Nothing much to that. Lead, you're just going to find it over sites that are busy. It's the plastic of the past, so it's used for absolutely everything. This just could have been a blob that's left over or whatever, but who knows. There we go, lead. Sounds great, and it often can be. Right, got a good little signal here. CTX, little round blob, but part of me says it sounds like a shotgun, but part of me says it sounds a bit coiny, but this is all just learning new machine. Quite small, whatever it is. Okay, so what we've got looks like, swap hands it, part of a buckle. Yeah, so it's
just one part of quite a plain buckle, or part of a harness for horse tack or something. You'll find a lot of those. Nothing special, but again it just shows what's been happening on the land.
Well, just stopped for a little break. The rain's coming down again. It's been on and off, but it's manageable, and it is disappearing, and it's still early yet. Really good start to the day. Finds just coming up every time I go up and down that part of the field. I'm finding a couple of things each time. The GPS will show there's little flags all over the place. So I've had that silver item, well, potentially silver item. I don't really know what that is, but it looks really interesting. The button, spindle, whirl, the coin, the wiped coin, unfortunately. Bit of broken buckle, bits of lead, stuff like that. In quite a small area. I haven't done much at all. It's probably, I don't know, 20 metres by 40 metres. So that's quite a concentration of finds. And not particularly normal for this permission, so I think I've got quite a good spot here. Once I've gone up and down, I might do the right thing, although it's very boring, and then go back across it the other way and sort of really grid it out, because you do sometimes pick up signals on one sort of angle that you wouldn't pick up on another, so it's worth doing, especially if there's a concentration of finds. That's really the purpose of that, you know, track down where the concentration is and really go at that area. So that's what I'll do when I get back out there. Discrimination wise, have a little chat about that. You've seen that iron that I found. The signal was poor on the detector, so it was having a go at discriminating it, but it didn't perfectly get rid of it, which is unusual. But that is the only bit of junk I dug after that first piece as well, to be fair. So modern metals can sound great, and they're hard to discriminate. The size can be your deciding factor on whether to dig it, because if it comes up very big, especially on the CTX trace tracker there, you can go, you know what, that's too big. I don't think it is a coin or something, you know, precious metal, so I'll leave it. Who's this on the radio? Wonder if Buddy's found something good. He's off in the middle of the field somewhere. But other than that, there's not been any other iron come up, so the CTX has gone through that perfectly. There is a slight hum in your ear with the CTX, which you can adjust. That's called the threshold. It can be annoying if it's too high, but it's really helpful. When you go over something you're discriminating, the hum stops. So you get this break, you get this silence, so you know that something's being discriminated. So that's really helpful. Anyway, I'll see you on the next find.